Good morning. Happy Saturday. What a beautiful day to be alive. I really feel awesome this morning. I've been up early, had my walk, and got out in the crisp morning air. Felt really good. And now I'm back. I'm here. Good morning, Denise. And it's really been a remarkable week since I was with you last Saturday. It has been really full of amazing events. Good morning, Glenn, Gina. Thanks for joining me. And it all started last Saturday. I had mentioned that my YouTube channel was just about to hit 1,000, which it did on Sunday. And so with that, it was about time that I kind of, upped my game maybe, looked into it a little more. And so Sunday I started a process. Now, little did I know, this was going to last me 5 consecutive days. And what it involved, first I organized the channel. Now it's a much more user-friendly channel where people can go in and click on files. And everything is set up in files now. So if you want to go to the WEEDU Wanders series, or WEEDU Speaks, or Warren Oracle's Lives, or MP3 files, Cayce, Kaban's, historic files, they're all organized. Now that took a whole day. And then I proceeded to create MP4 files. Now the reason I wanted to do this is because in my own hard drives, it was all kind of mismanaged to a certain degree, and I wanted to protect and preserve what has really represented thousands and thousands of hours of production over this last year. And so I proceeded. Once I had all the files organized, I created a software app for downloading. And one by one, I went through, and this represented over 400 videos that I had to patiently process into MP4 files and then reorganize into my external hard drive. Now, this was a real process. Hey, good morning, Bunmi. Hi, Michelle. And I didn't realize when I started that it was going to end up being such a relentless. There was one, I put an 18-hour cycle in a 24-hour period on one of the days. Plus we did the show with Glenn, which was awesome. We did the Tuesday show, and actually next Tuesday I've got Andrew Bisker, which I'm excited about. And then Kirsten Lazur. She is wonderful. She did a WEEDU Wanders with me in Santa Monica, and she's a real delight. And then Monica Shoot. And right after that, Teresa Allen. Now, I'm going to talk about synchronicity. I'm going to talk about coincidence. And I'm going to talk about serendipitous events. Because this week has been like blessed with them. Now, 22 years ago, I created several things. One was the whole acronym about the Peace Global Tribes. That came out of my mind back in like 95, 96. And it all made sense to me. And I just let that be what it was. I had an idea that I just thought, this is a great idea. So, fast forward. Last year, when I set up the channels, I created the Peace Global Tribe last year. Well, then I got kind of involved in my stunt double WEEDU. That pee drinking guy, he just loves to drink his pee. And so little did I know, when I started the channel, interesting enough, I was doing some of my archival videos, creating, different things, and nobody was watching them. Yeah, I didn't care. I was just creating an archive for myself, and so WEEDU took off and started to do the pee drinking series. Now, as time went on, I was introducing several videos, and when I looked in analytics, nobody was watching anything but the pee drinking videos. And I was going, well, this is interesting. Who knew? So I just figured, well, hey, Nahal, how you doing? Jessica, welcome. So, and James, hi. So I focused because it just seemed that was apparent that, I don't know, people wanted to hear about me drinking my pee, I guess. So I continued. And who knew? I really had no idea how much it was going to flourish and how it would evolve. I had no idea. I was just having fun, healing my body and drinking my pee. So along comes Wiley Schmidt. He catches one of my videos. He says, dude, you need to be in the groups. And I'm like, groups, So before long, I'm in all these groups and all this stuff is going on. It just kept evolving. And it was a miracle, really. It was like, wow, who knew? So, back to the Peace Global Tribes. Now, I set that page up, I set that group up and invited several people, and nobody paid attention to it, even the people I invited, which were people I knew. None of them pee drinkers, of course. It was just an idea. So, it lay dormant completely. I'd totally forgot about it. Really, honestly, I'd totally forgot about the Peace Global Tribe group I'd set up. So along comes Tim Rogers, that dear heart. And I get this notification that he was requesting membership into the Peace Global Tribe. And I'm thinking, Peace Global Tribe? I totally spaced it out. I forgot about it. And I thought, wow, that's an idea I created. Maybe somebody's like taking my name. I don't know. So when I clicked on it and I went looking into it, I realized, oh shit, that was the group I created. So here it is, Synchronicity. Coincidence? Not at all. It was just a serendipitous event. And so I acted upon it. I realized that the timing was perfect, that it's a unification of the tribes. And so now, lo and behold, we got the High Vibe Tribe and the Peace Global Tribe, and they're working in tandem and unity. It's a beautiful thing. And people responded. It's like timing's everything. And that's why I rely on having vision and holding space, being patient, accepting and allowing, trusting, knowing that all things appear when they're supposed to, not before. You can't push, you can't force. It doesn't work that way. And so, all these things, this week has been a miraculous, really honestly, miraculous. And so now, both those groups are active. I welcome you to participate. I welcome you to join them. And the High Vibe Tribe has always been set up as like an open mic. It certainly thematically runs on the urine therapy note, but it's not exclusive to that. And the Peace Global Tribe is focused on awakening, elevation, self-awareness, self-love. So it has a central theme based on that. And it's a wide open format for anybody to involve themselves in the transformation that we're experiencing, because we are experiencing a transformation. We are on the, we are at the new frontier. This is the new frontier. And I know, without a doubt, we're coming into the forefront. the magicians, the healers, the people that are doing the work, people that are actually exercising their self-love, their self-awareness, and their appreciation for it's all an inside job. And P really opens up that portal like nothing I ever experienced. I mean, I've been like digging in the dirt a long time, planting a lot of seeds, but nothing took off like the urine therapy. It's been like a marvel. Hey, Cayce and Keith. Nice to see you, man. Colin, welcome. And so more things kept appearing. Now here's another synchronicity for you. This stuff's crazy cool. I had a guest that was scheduled, that had a scheduling conflict and requested to excuse. So I said, fine. And I moved in. Hey, Lorenzo. And so I just made a quick call. And I asked Glenn, hey, you want to move up in the schedule? He said, absolutely, man. So he jumped in. So the schedule just kept kind of shifting. And there was now a hole where he was. And since I had Monica scheduled for the following week, I got a hold of Monica. I said, hey, you want to shift dates and move it up faster? She said, sure, absolutely. So then, this last week, there was a couple of video clips that appeared. And they were so brief, I couldn't even, by the time, because they were live. And when I clicked on them, they lasted a couple of seconds. They weren't even very long at all, but it was this remarkable woman, Teresa Allen. Now, Teresa had written a testimonial and made a reference to Monica Shute. Monica Shute shared that with me in a personal message. She said, God, look at this. I made this post and this woman responded and like put this whole testimonial and thanking me and da-da-da. I went, cool. So I'm watching this little clip. Happens to be the same person, Teresa Allen. So I thought, isn't this interesting? So the clip really impressed me. Her energy, her aura, her excitement, and her whole energy. I went, wow, who is this person? I want to know this person. So I reached out, and lo and behold, she responded in just a really positive, amazing way. We ended up on the phone in conversation a good part of the day while I was doing all of this processing and production work. We went in and out of it because of we had to just kind of let go of the call for a minute, come back and forth. Anyway, we were on the phone for hours. And she's going to be the guest following Monica. Funny how it works, right? And she's excited. This is a remarkable testimony. She's been doing her urine therapy for 2 years. And she's in the process of opening a business with her son. She has published a book. She has some of the most amazing art you'll ever see. She's a brilliant artist. So in our conversations, we started revealing and learning and exploring and discussing all sorts of ideas. Now, let's go back 22 years. Now, I created many things in consciousness, especially through writing. Now, one of the things I created was a character named Nicholas Nosey. He has his own file in the WEEDU channel. And there's only 5 there that I just recite these tales. Well, this is a character that I created based on some drawings that my 8-year-old son had done at the time. His name, Nicholas Nosey. Now, Nicholas Nosey is a curious one. And he looks for knowledge and he asks questions. And he's just a very curious young man. Well, he's an alter ego. Because I'm that same person, I ask a lot of questions. I do all the learning. I sort through all sorts of things. It's just, he became a reflection in a caricature. And I crafted 11, I think it's 11 in total. These are all in my archives, which I plan on retrieving. They're back up in Washington. I'm going to go there soon. So anyway, I started talking to Teresa about her artwork, and she put some into our conversation. I was looking at them and just going, wow. I was looking at her artwork just thinking, my God, what a brilliant artist this woman is. And so I told her about Nicholas. I said, this is something I have been sitting with for 22 years, and they're timeless tales. The most recent one I wrote was Nicholas Nosey discovers SHIVAMBU. Ha ha, funny how it works, right? So she went in and explored. And she looked at it because I have been looking for a partnership for literally 22 years. I've talked to artists in New York, high-end guys, people that my brother, who was in the publishing, and he was a commercial artist and worked in publishing and all that. So he led me to a couple of references. These people wanted $20,000. Like per story, and they wanted a percentage of the book and this, that, and the other. They wanted to keep all this, all this upfront shit. And I mean, I understand they're professionals. That's their business, is how they roll. And they wouldn't even, without payment, they wouldn't even give me a thumbnail illustration of how they might perceive my work. So I've had to let it go over the years. I just let it be, let it sit, let it stew. Well, I brought this conversation up with Teresa, and I just said, this is just something I've been looking for the right person forever, just waiting patiently, looking for the right person who wanted to become an equal partner. Me being the author, they being the illustrator. Let's get together and create these books. I have a new business partner. I'm so jazzed, man. She resonated to the tales. She resonated to the stories in a super big fashion. And so she called me the next day and she goes, my God, these stories are awesome. I said, well, thank you. Your art's awesome. I said, so you want to shake on it? I said, instead of a shake, let's do a hug, and we're doing this through the phone. And she's so adorable. She is. She's just brilliant. And I'm just looking so forward to having our conversation on the Oracle Live show. She's awesome. Really awesome. So, again, we're back into synchronicities. Okay, all this shit has happened in the last couple days. All these things that are like 22 and 23 years in the creative mind, in the process, are now coming alive. Amazing how it works, right? Now, I wrote about this. I think I'll share it right now just to have it recorded. I did post it. And it's called Serendipitous Events. Ha! Synchronicity. In step with time, simply effortless. Free your mind. Imagine anything. Hold that thought. Allow it to happen and connect the dots. Anything is possible. Simply believe. Resist temptation to be deceived. No coincidence is what you find. Releasing doubts inside your mind. Serendipitous events appear everywhere. Just stop trying and be prepared. Trust and allow. Go with the flow. Everything's perfect when you know. Ha ha! And it is. It's perfect. Life is a miracle. It's magical. It's full of wonder. And what we have to do is trust it. Allow it. You look at children. Children are such beautiful mirrors. They are magical. They're full of wonder and enthusiasm about everything. And then what happens? You know, we get conditioned, we get indoctrinated, we get pushed into corners, we get shoved with rules and regulations, and you can't do this, and political correctness, and all this other horseshit that gets crammed down our throat. And then we start getting fearful, over-concerned, protective, wearing armor, jaded, all sorts of illusions that take us away from point. Point being, never lose your childlike enthusiasm. Never lose your sense of wonder. Allow it, trust it, know it, explore it, be it. Because that's where life lives. It's in that. It's not all the bullshit. It's not all that serious, significant horse shit. It's not all the labels and the plaques on the wall and the cars you drive and the shoes you wear. That's all such an illusion and a distraction. It is. Life is beautiful when you imagine it that way. And I choose to do that. I choose to be happy. I do. You know, why do I call this Saturday Morning Cartoons? Because I am a cartoon. I wrote another one this morning. I'll share this one with you too. I wrote this one and posted it because I had a guy come under the meme, you know, when I day before I always post a meme that says, hey, you know, come and join me. Here's the show. And so this guy goes, are these piss cartoons? And I responded, I said, I am a piss cartoon. Because I am. And so this is called Laughter is Golden. I am a cartoon, true to form, choosing laughter instead of scorn. Misery loves company. I walk away, seeing the comedy of life every day. Laughter is healing, relieving the stress. Drama can crush you. It's only a test to see what you're made of. Can you laugh at yourself? Laughter is golden and good for your health. Why be so serious? Everyone dies. But our spirit continues to keep us alive. When life is a burden, understand this. When you find the humor, you'll find the bliss. And that is the way it rolls. You know, tragedy, comedy. The fastest way to heal your distress, your disorder, your drama, you know, your problems. Find the comedy in it, because all of it is so petty. There's a great book that was written decades ago called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and it's all small stuff. And when you really start to look at it, you'll realize it is. We get all caught up in shit that is just so insignificant. You know, think about it. Whatever the distress level you're facing today, and a year from now, and a day from now, a week from now, a month from now, or whenever, will it matter? Will it ever really matter? Was it worth the investment? It's a good question. Me, I just choose to. I had another one. I mean, this whole week has been filled with this shit. That's why I keep writing about the stuff, so I can just release it. Now, I've been under, like I said, just production like monstrous. I've actually spent, the cookie jar's down to crumbs right now. And, you know, there's still quite a bit of month left. It's cost me a lot of investment in gasoline, propane, between the weather, this, that, and the other. I had the final balloon payment to do for the publisher. And so I was a little late on the draw, putting the final monies into the account for them, which they automatically draw. And so when they pulled the draft, it was declined. And I get this call from the publisher, and this guy tells me, well, you know, your payment was declined. I said, what are you talking about? I said there was more than, I made sure there was more enough to cover that payment. And he said, well, sir, I'm sorry, but it was declined. So, we're going to have to do this manually. And I was getting testy. I was pissed. I said, I hope this call is being, I'm glad this call is being recorded because I'm calling bullshit. And they charged me $30. Now, this is $30 I didn't have. There's a lot of gasoline right there and propane. And so, they and it's non-refundable, non-negotiable when their automatic payment process goes through and it gets declined, and they have to come back and call you, they charge you $30. Okay, well, I was getting really kind of frustrated about all this because, like I said, my cookie jar is empty. So I called my bank, and I, was trying to sort it out. And my bank, my credit union back in Washington, I love these girls. They're so helpful and so thoughtful. And so she says, well, they pulled it on the 14th. And I went, wait a minute. My agreement is on the 15th. And they're pulling it on the 14th. Well, no wonder it was, so I'm going back and forth. And I was getting a little pissed about it. Really, I was. And so I called the guy back. I called the, finance department back. And I said, well, it looks like what happened is you guys pulled on the 14th, not the 15th, which is my agreement. So why am I being charged, and all this stuff? And I'm going through all these gyrations. I mean, I was. And he called me right in the middle of my lunch. I was halfway through my avocado and toast sandwich, which I love. And I said, dude, man, this is like, now I got to eat under stress. Anyway, long story short, they did, it showed up on the West Coast. My publisher's on the East Coast. Okay, so they do automatic pull and draft. And they did. It was like at 1 o'clock in the morning, which would show up in the computers on my West Coast time as 10 p.m. on the 14th. But they were actually pulling on the 15th, and I was late on the draw. So once I realized all this, I just had to go, fuck, man, you blew it, It wasn't their fault. This is all my fault. And I accept it, man. I found the humor in it. Simple as that. But I went through the stress, and this is the point I'm making. We're all cartoons. We get all worked up over nothing. And what's the point? What's the value? What do we get out of it? Well, me, I just got a story out of it, which I just shared. And it's all good. I don't trip on this shit. I'm out of money. What am I going to do? I got the rest of the month, I just trust, allow, accept, hope that, there's some, miracle pulls through. It's all good. Right now I got myself, I got cats. They got food. Oh, Ryan, you'd lick the floor, so I'd like to see that on camera. And so, to me, it's all a comedy. I'm just a cartoon. I'm living I'm living large. I am. And I live in the simplest terms and the simplest means possible. I trust and allow. Now, I'm going to let you in on something, okay? Now, this is another idea I've been planning on for quite some time. This appeared to me along the way, and I've just kind of kept it completely under my hat. Because timing wasn't right to even think about it. Well, a friend of mine in the East, she proposed this idea, which I had already had, about doing a retreat. Now, she's got the property. It's pretty cool. I'm going to go there and we're going to have a meeting about it in the near future. But it all appeared to me this morning perfectly. Why? And when? Ha ha. Now, I'm going to keep details undisclosed at this point, but I will tell you what weekend it is. It's going to be the 20th, 21st, and 22nd of July. and it will be in a really pretty cool spot, beautiful private property in Virginia, Floyd, Virginia. And it's going to be all inclusive. It's going to have all sorts of elements involved: music, celebration, dance, chanting. I'm going to provide my chefing skills, and we're going to have this complete cooperative of unifying tribes. Now, central theme, there's going to be celebration. That's really the central theme. And why did I pick that weekend? I'm hitting a milestone. I turned 65 on the 21st of July. So, it's going to be exclusive because of limitations to how many people can be involved. We'll get to all that, all those details. But I'm just tipping my hat a little bit to it to let you know. It's another plan and formulation. A celebration retreat. And it's going to be all inclusive. So whatever the cost is, it's going to include all the camping, the food, all the events, and there'll be plenty. It's going to be pretty exciting. So I'm sharing that with you today because it all appeared to me this morning completely. I realized that would be the perfect call to do it then. Why not? Last party I had was when I turned 60. And so I just figured 65, that's a good milestone. Why not? Why not have a little weekend celebration with the tribe? Sounds like an idea to me. I'm excited about it. So, yeah, things just keep developing in these beautiful synchronicities. They do. There is no coincidence. I trust and allow, Ryan, let me know how I can help. I appreciate that. Anybody who wants to, throw me bones, I'm totally, I'm okay with people throwing me bones. I've never asked for any. I did ask for donations towards the book, but everybody's being guaranteed a signed and copy of the book, and all that stuff's in now, and people can still donate that way if they want to have a signed copy of the book. It's all good, but you just won't be included in the acknowledgments in the book because everything's in there now. But, if anybody wants to throw me any bones, I'll take your bones. I've got several more weeks before, my monthly money comes in. So, I do have a PayPal account. Anybody wants to throw bones in it, I accept it readily. And the PayPal is paypal.me/WEEDU. And it's always there to gladly accept anything, and like I said, I never ask. I don't, because I'm committed. I do. I commit all my time, energy, and resources towards producing. And I do. I just make it work one day at a time. That's how I roll. And I always get what I need. It always seems to work out. It always seems to get covered. And so I just trust it. I allow it. I do. I can't trip on this shit. I can't stress over any of this because it's all too golden. It's all so beautiful. The fact that I had this conversation with Teresa and we made an agreement, we are now officially business partners in the development of the Nicholas Nosey collection. And I am jazzed about that. That will be the next book that I have published, the Nicholas Nosey collection. It's going to be awesome. Really awesome. And I'm excited about it. I am. I've waited, for a story I wrote. My son was 8 years old when we did the very first Nicholas Nosey story, and I was just jazzed about it. And he did the illustration for the first book only. And then I pushed him, and that was a mistake. He wasn't ready. And I was too amped, because he's a brilliant artist. At 8 years old, he had just unbelievable innate talent. And I thought, wouldn't it be glorious to create this whole series with my son as the illustrator? But yeah, I pushed him, and that was a mistake, Dad's mistake, because it pushed him away. It was too much pressure on him. Live and learn. But here I am with a brilliant, brilliant artist that resonates to the storyline, that wants to participate in a big way. She wants to. And that is huge. It's not, well, how much are you going to pay me? No, we're going into this to let it evolve, because these are timeless tales that need to be told. That's the way I view them. It's all there to bring out the child in all of us. I mean, I'd classify them as children's stories because they have a Dr. Seuss cadence and a rhythm and rhyme, which I have. That's how I write. Anybody who reads or listens to my poetry knows I have a cadence. I have a rhythm and rhyme. Maybe it was too much Dr. Seuss. I don't know, but I resonate at that level. That's how I roll. And I have other collaborations that are still, I'm waiting in patience. Now, I have my dear friend Gene, who lives back in Washington. He's who I was living with for the last 3 years. Now, we wrote songs that also go back 22 years. We first started collaborating on some of my poetry, and he's a brilliant musician and a great composer. And we have together, and there was another composer involved, but collectively my poems have been translated now into composed pieces of music work 13 times. Now, we went into, I had all the recording equipment. We have rough tapes, demos and things like that. We did a lot of live performances. We had a group. And these are just some awesome, timeless pieces of music. But not being the composer myself or a musician, I'm a performer. I'm an entertainer. I don't call myself a musician, although hey, John. John Theo's here from Holland. Nice to see you, bro, as always. And again, this is just another area of exercise of patience, patience, patience. Because he's doing more music now. He's going to retire in another year. And him and another old friend that have been collaborating a lot and doing some, more recent shows and going out, and they're getting together and they're working on it. So there's an eventuality that will prevail. These things also will come into their full fruition and be available. And again, there's some in my video collection. If you go in and look at it, there's songs in there that Gene and I performed live that were a part of our songwriting teamwork. And so I love collaboration. I've been flying solo all my life. That's why even a year ago when I put together the Peace Global Tribe, I was just throwing it out there and really nobody responded. I mean, it included all these people and nobody made it one effort. They didn't even look at it. And these were my so-called friends. I've had many. I've known literally thousands of people throughout my life. People I've worked with, associates, family, neighbors, this, that, the other. But I've never found a tribe like I have now. Never, never, never. People I talk to, people actually we connect. We share ideas. We share philosophy. We share beautiful love. I appreciate it. I get PM all the time. I get PM messages go into conversation and dialogue. I get video chats, phone calls. And I'm so appreciative of it. I waited a long, 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 long time to have this occasion appear in my life. And so I'm humbled by it. I celebrate it. I embrace it because it's so beautiful. It's so wonderful to have so many beautiful friends. Really beautiful friends, with all their thoughts and their cares, their concerns, their considerations. It doesn't matter to me. Yeah, I make myself available always to people. Now, there are some people that it's really interesting, and I'm very humbled by it. Okay, this shit really humbles me. It does. But in both Africa and India, they're on a 12-hour time cycle difference. So they don't even think about it at all. They just see me that I'm online. I go online some mornings at 4 in the morning. When I get up, I just go and kind of check in and see what's happening. And it's like they see I'm online, and it's like, oh, he's online. I'm going to PM him. And, little do they realize I just woke up and I'm just like going through my morning routine and stuff. But, I appreciate them and stuff. But, they're just honored, that they are respectful, very respectful of having the friendship. And I am too. I'm very respectful of them. But it's all timing. Usually, I mean, there's times I'm okay at that time, 4 in the morning. I mean, I was having this conversation with Monica because she is she's like 9 hours. She's in the middle of Europe. And so, there's all these time variance that goes on. Anthony, nice to see you, my friend. Always welcome. So, it's just the synchronicity. It's the timing. There is no coincidence. I always trust and allow everything to appear as it's supposed to when it does. And by not forcing anything, it really has much more of a beauty to it. It makes more sense. Because I've had agendas. I've pushed a lot of envelopes. And usually end up hitting my head against the wall. Because timing was incorrect. And you can't force it if it doesn't fit. It just doesn't work like that. You have to just allow it. Let it unfold. Let it present itself, because it will. It does. And then you can just celebrate it. It's beautiful. Life's beautiful. It really is. It works effortlessly when you trust it and allow it to do so. Anybody who's ever done any art, music, construction, chefing. These are just areas I know, but it goes in many formulations of process. It's all a process. And in when you're doing show production, it's staging. It's all staging. And it's all preparation. And that was drilled into me as a chef. Mise en place, which simply translates to preparation. Now, I'll tell you, if you aren't prepared, when you're working food and culinary arts and you're running a line and you got dining rooms and customers and all that, if you aren't prepared, you're going to be in the shit. That's it. You're going to be in the shit. And so I just had it drilled into me to always, be thorough, be efficient, be prepared. Now, here's a great example of timing is everything and not having everything in full compliance and preparation. This event that happened, yesterday or whenever, the day before yesterday, at some university in Florida with this pedestrian thing collapsing. Now, why people were on this thing, they hadn't stress tested it. They hadn't finished. I mean, I can't even figure out why people were on this thing, Talk about not having things timed right. What a tragedy, really, honestly. I mean, it's crazy. But it's just an indicator. It just shows, don't open the doors until you're ready. It's just the way it works. And all life works that way. You can't bum rush this shit. You got to be thorough. You got to be prepared and be willing to do the process. You don't put the top layer on a painting unless you have the bottom layer in. Ryan, you got to go, brother. I love you. Ryan is a beautiful artist. This guy I guarantee you, man, if you see his, he has Lucid Paints, and it's a great program. He's like the Bob Ross of spray paint, and he just does these beautiful, beautiful paintings with spray paint. I mean, it's really, and he shows you. So he's a perfect example of how the process works. And he walks you through he shows you every technique he has. I mean, it's really quite cool how he does this. And I learn a lot just watching him in his process. And it's just very love oriented. He just comes from such a great heart and such a great place of love. And people who choose to do that, they benefit. It's not about, anything except experiencing the love and the joy. And performing is about love and joy. When it turns into money, when it turns into these other elements and the agenda up your sleeve and you glad hand with your business card with some agenda and stuff, it really takes away from the magic and the beauty and the poetry of the experience. It just does. And I had to learn that. I had a lot of agenda in my life. I did. I pushed a lot of envelopes. I did. But I've learned to relax. I've learned to trust and allow and just be with it. Let it roll. Because magic appears. It does. Always. Life is full of marvel and magic. I'm getting closer and closer to a lifelong dream that I've been maintaining and holding space for. And it's going to happen. It's happening, soon, but I'm still just holding the space. I'm not opening the doors until it's ready to be opened. That's the way it works. And as things appear, as they occur, you'll be the first to know. I have no secrets, but I do have posture and disclosure. This I do have. I don't spill all my candy in the lobby. I don't. I don't do that. But I do like to share. I like to tell stories. I like people to be aware that, I'm just being myself. That's it. Yeah, I've learned to be okay about who I am and trust my experience. Now, I went out and walked this morning. I am planning on going out and golfing this afternoon. It's cold, but it's not raining. It's not snowy. We've had a lot of that. And it's all timing. After 5 straight days of production work and holed up here facing my computer, staring at it like a zombie, doing all these processes, Thursday, I really just unplugged everything and went and I walked in the morning. Then I came back and changed my clothes. And then I went and played 18 holes of golf, came back and ate a salad. And then took another layer off because the day progressively got warmer. And then I did another walk. So I did 2 walks, which were 8 miles, played 18 holes of golf. I did it again on Friday. I went out and did my morning walk, went out and played a round of golf. And I like my exercise. I like my space. I like nature. I like to go out and breathe. I don't want to be a production zombie, although sometimes it looks like I am. But, this is something I signed up for. It's something I choose. And these are skills that I exercise because I actually feel good doing them. I like the process, and, I just keep honing my skills one way or the other by the application. The more I do it, the better I get. So it's all just stuff. Hi, Wendy. Hey, Mark. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate people coming and joining me on this beautiful Saturday. I value everybody's time. I do. Because everybody's got a life. And, you just honor your life. And you come spend a few minutes with me. I appreciate it. I do. Means a lot to me. So, anyway, I've covered a lot of things here this morning. I've revealed a number of things that have been pretty exciting in the development and evolution of the ongoing story of Cayce Kaban. And that crazy stunt double of mine, WEEDU. You never know what that guy's going to do next. He's a pee drinking fool, man. He loves his pee. But I do too. We both love our pee. And anybody who doesn't realize that, I am a stunt double. And I produce WEEDU SHIVAMBU. He's my stunt double. My little pee drinking guru. Who would have guessed? When WEEDU appeared to me, man, it was a joke to me. It was. I started drinking my pee, and WEEDU appeared within no time. Within 24, 48 hours, I had already had this whole thing. I sat down at the computer. I wrote it all out. I wrote everything out. I just had a movie in my mind. I had design ideas in my mind and quotations in my mind. I had all these things, and so I was just flourishing, man. The pee, the juice, just got it going. And so when I learned that SHIVAMBU meant urine therapy in a general translation, I just thought, we do, I do it, we do. It was just kind of like cracked me up, really. I said, we do SHIVAMBU, it just kind of resonated to me. I just liked how it vibed. And so it cracked me up. And I thought, well, I'm going to go for it. And I did. I created the Facebook page. I created a YouTube channel. I have actually in my bank account, one of my debit cards. I have two accounts. And one of them has my strawman name and WEEDU SHIVAMBU. So I made him real. I totally crafted this character, and God, who knew? But it seems to resonate to people. It does, and so I just ride that pony. Why not? It's a good one. It's funny because I have a Cayce Kaban Facebook, and I have a Cayce Kaban YouTube. And there's 1,000 people plus in my Cayce Kaban friend page. And it's like I post pretty much the similar stuff of what I post in my WEEDU page. It's like nobody ever comments. Nobody likes. Nobody does anything. I mean, it's really interesting. It's like, I'm behind. Cayce Kaban is behind the scenes. And maybe that's why I had to do this show. Let you know that I'm real. Because WEEDU took over. But I'm okay with WEEDU taking over. He does a good job. Whatever he's doing, it seems to be working. I don't know. And that's all the thing is this is all about the message. That's all it's about, is reaching out, letting people experience themselves. Urine therapy certainly turned my world around, opened up my eyes, opened up my glands, loosened up my whole experience. I felt better after drinking my pee, and I still do. I drink my pee every day. I'll drink to that, cheers, I never trip on it, but I'm always tripping on it. It's just like the whole thing about it not tasting right. Oh, it's a little bitter, it's a little salty, it's a little this, that, and the other. Yeah, and? So, what the hell? What's the difference? It's good for you. That's it. I mean, that's the way I look at it. I just drink it. It's not always going to taste like, sweet coconut water, and sometimes it does. But it doesn't always taste that way. Especially if you're doing detox and a lot of exercise and all those things, it can vary in taste a lot. But I drink it anyway. I just do. Some mornings it's pretty gnarly. I don't care. I just drink it. And I can feel the results. If I wasn't producing results, I wouldn't just drink it for a novelty. I wouldn't. Pee works. And I can tell everybody honestly ever, you know, it works, just works. And I'm not alone. If I was just some unique freak that managed to make all this work, that'd be pretty interesting. But the fact that it works for everybody, works the same, works in different ways, whatever your body needs, does, and desires, it works for everybody in their own way, but it works. Won't kill you, make you feel better. I do it all proactively anymore. I never drink my pee reactively. I don't. I drink it proactively every day, and I'm never sick. Just not. I just feel okay all the time. Pretty cool how it works. Ha! So, yeah, there's my little, my pee stand. Instead of a soapbox, I got a pee stand. And, yeah, I like it. So, if anybody's got any questions or anything, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I'm choosing to do these now. Now that it's not as like dead cold freezing and stuff, I've been choosing to do these without the generator running and, you know, conserve more fuel and energy, and then fire it up because I need it for the internet. I have to run the power if I want to run the internet, so I can't run anything without it. So I can do this show live without, because my phone works pretty good. You know, I make an investment. These are all tools. I make an investment in this phone every month. I make an investment in the internet every month. And, you know, gas and propane and all these things to keep the production running. That's, you know, it's my investment. And I don't count my time. My time is just love. You know, I just give it all away. That's what I do. So it's all good. I trust it all. I do. I love you all dearly. I really, really love you all dearly. And again, the next Tuesday we're going to have Andrew Visker. So I hope you join us on the Oracle Live, followed by Kirsten Lazur, then Monica Shute and Teresa Allen. I love my guests, the willingness for people to come and share their wisdom and their time and their insights and their experience is always just a reward and a value to me. I appreciate them. And also, Water of Life. This is a great event every September. And it's going to be September 21st, 2nd, and 3rd this year in the Westgate Resort in Las Vegas. And I just encourage people to consider attending this event because we went last year. It was the very first one. And I wouldn't miss it at all because there's such a beautiful communion. There's just so much love, remarkable people that you get to, you know, hang out with, you know, and that's the cool part. Get to hang out with some really cool people. So, waterlifesymposium.com, $35 for the registration, and it's a really, it's a great weekend. So, yeah, with all that being said, I think I'm going to go ahead and rearrange and get this show up and produced and shared and do all that so I can go out and enjoy the rest of my day. Get a golf round in. And you know, I don't mind it. Like it's chilly out there. I bundle up, but on days like this, most people wimp out, you know. They just wimp out. So I go out there and it's like having a private golf course to myself. It's really cool. So with all that being said, have a beautiful, wonderful, marvelous day. And boom, you just been loved. Keep your peace together. Love you all dearly. Ciao for now.